I've been thinking a lot lately about where people really miss it, where they miss the buck, where things kind of go wrong, if you will. That reflection really has led me to where I'll be focusing a lot, where I'll be educating this year, what I'll be speaking on. And I realized one of the big themes it comes down to is self leadership. So many people started businesses, and this is not an attack, obviously. I'm not saying there are wrong things because we can fix them. Obviously, that's why I'm here talking about this. But we have to be aware of them, we have to call them out, and we do have to work on these things to incrementally get better. We're running businesses, right? And if you run a business, you have to lead. You're not automatically a leader, but you need to learn how to be a leader. And the good news is you can. Hey, I'm Steph Rubio, your go to for no nonsense chit chat on growing a business and life that you actually love. Around here, we're rooted in who we are, even if we're still learning to love her, getting clear on where we want to go, and we're relentless in our pursuit to get there. We're clawing our way out of survival mode and learning to bet on ourselves. We get into the nitty gritty of growth in life and in business, money, identity, boundaries, healing, leadership, parenting, partners, and all the messy bits in between. If you're ready to grow on your own terms, laugh a lot, possibly cry a little, maybe laugh until we cry if we're lucky, then hit subscribe and let's get into it. This is Rooted and Relentless. Grab your notepad and hold on to your tits. This one's for you. I studied theories of leadership a couple of years ago when I was getting my bachelor's degree. I just pointed at my degree on the wall, not that you can see it, even if you're watching this on YouTube, because it's behind the computer. But I studied theories of leadership a couple of years ago, and boy, do I hate a theories class, because obviously none of it's proven, but there's a lot of stuff that makes sense. This theories of leadership class basically took this approach that there are leaders and there are followers. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. And we really debated this question of, is a leader born? And I was like, well, I think so. I've been leading, like, I just had those leadership traits. My 5-year-old, then 4, she was probably, now she's 6. She has leadership traits, like the way she shows up in this on the playground and stuff. So when you think about this, maybe. Anyways, we won't debate that today. At the end of the day, I don't know if leaders are born, if you have like leadership qualities, or if those are taught to you. That's what I believe really happens. Either way, putting that aside, you can be taught leadership skills. And at the end of the day, if you run a business, it demands that you step into a leadership role because you're leading other people, whether you're leading a team yet or not. If you're a solopreneur and you're doing it all yourself, feel you, girl. That's a lot of work. You still have to lead yourself first so that you can do all of those things, so that you can prioritize and work on what absolutely needs to happen, because we know there's no shortage of shit that needs to happen. But you also have to lead people to buy from you. If you run a business, you're selling something. So you have to lead them to that, or you're going to pay someone else to, lead them and make sales. You have to lead external partnerships for collaborations and opportunities and friends that you'll make along the way that are visibility and a part of your marketing. You have to lead yourself. You can't lead any of those effectively until you learn to lead yourself. There are 4 things I think will enable you to lead yourself effectively so that you can lead other people. This is where I see relationships fall short. This is where I do see people hiring teammates and trying to delegate and falling short. And there's a lot of back and forth on, who's to blame. And I'm not here to do that. I'm telling you to take responsibility for yourself and your actions. When you hire a team, when you run a business, it is up to you to lead yourself so that you can lead others. You have to lead yourself first. The first thing is awareness. You have to be intimately self-aware. Your pros, your cons, what makes you freaking fabulous, what makes you a little aggravating, right? None of us are perfect, but hiding those things isn't going to serve you. Pretending like they don't exist isn't going to serve you. Not being aware of them certainly isn't going to serve you. You're going to sour relationships. You're going to fall short accidentally because you're just not self-aware. It's crazy that I've tried to teach my own mother this, okay, a couple years ago, way before our relationship ended for the last time. I was like, wow, why am I in my like early 30s teaching a grown woman this? Oh, here we are, because I am a leader and I've put in the work to get here. You have to be able to look in the mirror and be so raw and intimately honest with who you see there and her traits, her quirks, her funny things, her problematic tendencies, all of that. Be so freaking self-aware. And when you do, you can't be touched. You can choose to work on those things or not. You can choose to get better or not. You can know that you're never going to be a 5 a.m. person and that be okay, but be self-aware so that you don't spin your wheels trying to get up at 5 a.m. and do this. Be self-aware. Second one is ownership. Now that you're aware, When you do fall short or you do miss something, own that. When you have a team, this becomes incredibly important because you never pass that buck to your team. I work with clients and I've heard of their clients going to people in their business and blaming it on that team member, even though it wasn't on that team member, my client, to save face. That's not how we do this. That's not how you lead. It is your team. It is your business. You take ownership to that client. You name what happened, name how you'll fix it again. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all humans. So if you're pretending like you're going to walk around and there are no errors, you're mistaken anyways. So be extremely self-aware and take ownership for what happens in your life, what you're the cause of, even if it's inadvertently. If your team does do something, you still don't blame it on them. You take responsibility because they're your team and now you're going to lead them, focus on the learnings, plan to mitigate later, and chalk it up as the cost of doing business and move on. Some of the best mentors I have, one of the worst bosses, but was so great in little tiny mentorship pieces was that when I made a mistake in the business and the ones I would be terrified of, like a mistake with the IRS and financial planning, and it was going to cost the client money, that terrified me. I go to him with a plan and he's like, it's a cost of doing business. It's going to happen. We're not going to get everything perfect. What? Yeah. So chill out a little bit, be self-aware, take ownership, and understand there's a cost of doing business. And you want to present a united front outside of your team and you want to take responsibility for your team. Alignment. This is making decisions that match your values and your long-term vision, not just what feels good today. So this is making sure it's aligned to where you're going long-term, and it's not just a quick fix. It's not just an idea you're going to pull off. It's not what some guru on the internet is telling you to do that will have you spinning your wheels. Make sure that what you're doing is aligned with who you are, because you're self-aware, and where you want to go and the impact that you want to have in the world, right? And then resilience. With all of that work we've done, with being self-aware, with learning to take ownership of all of these components of ourself and our lives, with making sure that we're making decisions and moving in alignment, you also have to be resilient because old tendencies are going to pop up. Self-doubt, imposter syndrome. Hello. I struggled with imposter syndrome for a long time. It held me back. I have a podcast episode on that. I'll drop that one in the show notes so that you can listen to it. But it was huge for me. And it's not that it's gone away. The rooms get bigger. The opportunities get scarier. And I'm the first one that will be like, are you sure? Is this for you? And I have to have the tools to be resilient in that, go back through my toolbox, remind myself that, yeah, I am that bitch and I am the person that should be on that stage and I should be in that room and I know my stuff and it's just scary because I haven't done it yet. So I go back through the tools. I have to be resilient. Self-leadership is how you come behind your strategy and your system. Two things I love and use frequently in my business and to help other clients. We have a strategy because that tells us what to do and why to do it and who's going to do it. That helps us go towards that vision. We use systems to do it so efficiently. So you have these two working in tandem, right? We have the strategy to tell us what to do, how to do it, who's going to do it to get us where we want to go. We use systems to do that efficiently, to save money, to save time, energy, to make the mission matter, to reach the impact without burning the heck out. And then you come behind those with self-leadership because when the going gets tough, you have to have the awareness, the ownership, the alignment, and the resilience to do what you already know you need to do because the strategy told you and the systems are supporting you. Self-leadership is the antidote to the self-doubt that you have. Self-leadership is how you overcome imposter syndrome. Self-leadership is how you grow a business that will sustain. It's how you grow a team that will depend on you. It's how you have clients that are going to be obsessed with you. It's how you grow a business that will last and you feel good doing it because you've spent the time leading yourself before you lead others, before you lead a business, before you keep throwing things at the wall, because you're going to do that. And it's okay when you start out, but eventually you have to transition into a mature business owner. And that starts with self-leadership. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Rooted and Relentless. If it made you laugh, nod along, or grab that cute little notebook of yours and scribble something down, please hit me with the SSR, subscribe, share, and review, as in leave a review. Thanks for hanging. Bye.